It's still a very beautiful morning right here on Prime Morning, and it is the morning of Ghana's 69th independence. And are you excited? Are you happy? Well, we're about to have a very interesting conversation where we are asking the question of 69 years of Ghana gaining its independence. Have you seen any drastic change? Are you happy? Are you excited about how far Ghana has come? You at home watching, you would get the chance to join us on Zoom. So we are going to put the Zoom ID and password on the screen a little later in the conversation where you can, join and share with us what you would like to be changed in Ghana. What would you want to be changed right here in Ghana? Looking at 69 years of independence. This is the News Flash segment right here on Prime Morning. And my name is Esiodua Akomia. News Flash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones papa fear if you're looking for any electronic gadgets at all, be it phones, refrigerators, CCTV cameras, phones of all sorts, of all brands. They have got you covered on all that. So you can check them out. Their website is www.francotrading.com. And you can also download the app on your phone, Franco Trading. It is on iOS, it is on Android as well. You can download the app so that from the comfort of your homes, you can just place an order for any electronic gadget at all that you're looking for. Also, Franco Newsflash is also proudly brought to you by Koa Cocoa Natural Drink. It is made from our very natural cocoa pods. It has its own natural, delicious taste. There are no additives, there are no preservatives to it. And so make sure that if you want to enjoy something Ghana, something cocoa, make sure you go for Koa Cocoa Natural Drinks. My name once again is Esiodua Akomia, and two of my guests are seated in studio. We're about to have the conversation on Ghana's 69th independence. Looking at 69 years of Ghana gaining independence, have we done well economically, politically? Cutting across all fields. Have we done well as a country? And the various political parties that have come into power since Ghana gained its independence, how well have they contributed to Ghana's freedom or Ghana's growth as it now? And so seated with me this morning, I've got Julius Kwame Anthony, who is government spokesperson. Good morning, Julius.
Good morning, Sidio.
How are you?
I'm fine. You?
Nice. I'm doing okay. I don't know if I'm excited about Ghana celebrating 69 years. I should be excited.
You should be.
Why should I?
Despite all our troubles, we have made significant progress.
Okay.
We are one of the leading countries in Africa.
Okay.
Number one is in West Africa in multi-dimensions. And so I think that while we look at our lows as a country, we should be able to look at some significant highlights in our journey so far. And that should make us excited about our progress.
Well, I don't know about our viewers home, but they can share that with us when they get to join us on Zoom, or you can do that via social media platforms on Facebook, and it's Joy Prime TV, or you can take our WhatsApp number 055-157-5757. Also seated next to Julius, I've got Selorm Dramani Dzramado. He's a leading member for Arise Ghana. Good morning, Selorm.
Good morning.
Happy Independence to you.
Happy Independence Day to you too.
Are you excited? Ghana is 69.
My excitement is actually one that is tamed in the sense that the kinds of things that we should not be doing at this stage, we are still doing those things.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know whether when you come in to your workplace, whether you pass through circuit to this place, when you get to the interchange, the Dubai, so that you are you are welcomed by filth. Garbage. That is where they dump garbage. And the Dubai, that place, the very day it was commissioned by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, it was a very nice place. You understand, one of the places that people would go and take pictures.
A lot of Ghanaians were anticipating how.
But today, no, squalor has taken over that place. We need to do more. We need to do more. We are in 2026, 21st century. Yeah. We've got to be leapfrogging. Yes, we've got to be leapfrogging. That's it. So let me even use the opportunity to say a very good morning to your esteemed and cherished viewers, especially those in Central Town constituency who are watching us live, and to say a happy Independence Day to them.
Okay.
And I'm sure the excitement will be around because of the kind of governance that is being dispensed today.
Okay.
Because it would be remiss of me not to share excitement, because then it will be like somebody who doesn't have a spirit of gratitude.
You know,
because
speaking
now,
about,
given the way the
right.
ship is being stewarded now, we are being stewarded in a direction that we all pray that will be sustained, that the captain will not be distracted to take a different direction like what we witnessed under the 8 years of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Julius, listening to what Selorm just said, do you think it's what has fueled? It seems that there's a difference, some level of difference when it comes to the anticipation towards today. Ghanaians in general, on social media, the craze, the excitement, even of jerseys, the Ghana jerseys, some going out of stock, some being ridiculously sold, and all of that. Would you say that what Selorm is saying about this current government's, work is what has excited Ghanaians this much?
Well, it's a significant contributor. Believe you me, when the people of Ghana are not happy with their government, it reflects in their attitude towards so many other things. They become disenchanted. When you bring up issues that has to do with nationalism and patriotism, people say cast that aside. Correct. We don't want to be involved and all of that. You see it in the attitude even sometimes towards our national team and all of that. People don't want to go to stadiums even when they are not happy with what is going on in the country. But the sort of euphoria that has come around the 69th independence is indicative of something, going well for Ghana. But you see, for us in government, we wouldn't want to be too complacent and want to claim all the credit for the euphoria that is going on. We know that the people of Ghana, regardless of circumstance, always try to put this nation first. Our unity, what brings us together. The people of Ghana try to highlight that more. And that is what we are seeing. But it is also important to underscore that the economy determines so many other things. There is economic determinism of almost every single thing in our lives. You cannot have fun if you are economically indisposed. You cannot have fun if you have suffering at home. You can't pay the bills. Prices of goods and services are very expensive for you. There is no patriotism if the person's basic needs, there's still a struggle. As we speak today, there has been significant improvement in the economy. We moved from an inflation that was ranging over 23%. At some point, if you remember, it was 54% in this country.
There were complaints that, although the figures look good, but it's not reflected in the
that is not true. You see, let me tell you something. How is inflation calculated, Asidra? Inflation is calculated by the Ghana Statistical Service. There are a number of items that the Ghana Statistical Service, through their metrics, have concluded are common, you understand, to every Ghanaian. And that every Ghanaian would, at some point within a month, purchase one or two of those items. And so the Ghana Statistical Service picks those items and calculates the rate at which the prices of those items are increasing within a span of a month.
Right.
Then comes up with an average of that figure. So there is a reason why I posed the question to you, how is inflation calculated?
Okay.
Because if anyone tells you that the figures are showing positively, but it is not reflecting in the prices of goods and services, it would become a misconceived understanding of the concept of calculating inflation, because it is the goods and services themselves that are used and an average is struck.
Okay.
So how do you conclude that, it is not reflecting in the price of goods and services? Because inflation is calculated by taking various items, food items, beverages, some particular services like transportation, etc. And it is put like a basket and calculated and weighted on average. And the average is struck. And then, the Statistical Service reports on that. So if someone says that the reality is not reflecting with the people, what does the person really mean? Because the basket of items that are taken are the very things we are buying. So that whole concept of the reality is not reflecting on the people and all of those things. It's a political spin that is usually adopted.
Okay.
To actually derail the progress of the country, which we should not accept, especially on a significant day like this. I will tell you something. We must bring some honesty to public discourse as well, if our independence would mean anything.
Okay.
The reason is because often when someone puts a lie out there, it takes, a small line to just put a lie out there. Or it's not reflecting in the pockets of the people. That's a small line, right? You see the circle I have to go through to explain to you why that statement is false. I have to now come and show you this is how inflation is calculated. The multiple items must be picked. An average must be struck before the statistical service comes to a conclusion. You see, it takes much work to actually make sure that people get the truth. But lies are easier to just throw out. Oh, it's not reflecting in the pocket of the people. That's simple. We must begin to check that attitude as well as we come to independence, because everybody says that inflation is not reflecting, the inflation, reduction is not reflecting in the pocket of the people. It's completely misconstrued.
So I believe you want to come in on
that. Exactly. Julius, when the people say that the positive macro success that the government has chalked is not reflecting in our pocket, what we mean is that there is some mismatch. Okay. When inflation is low, one is expected to have a disposable income that we don't have. So there's a mismatch. Then it means that what is supposed to accompany the single-digit inflation, that is not accompanying the single-digit inflation. We want to have money in our pockets.
Yes.
You see, because as for the inflation, like you rightly said, inflation is just the rate at which goods and services, the prices of goods and services go up. That is it. So it means that today, what is the items that are in those baskets?
Yeah.
The CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which is a metric used to calculate the inflation, or the GDP deflator, which is another metric used to calculate inflation. It's telling us that inflation is single digit today, but we don't have money in our pockets.
Yes.
That is what we mean, that it is not reflecting. But as for the inflation being low, it is true. Because when you go to the market, prices of goods and services, there are goods that today when you go, the prices are not as they used to be. Okay? Or the increase is now marginal. So there's inflation that is on the decline. Okay, inflation, a bit of inflation in our economy is good because it is stimulus. It stimulates the growth. So as Ghana, as we have this 3-point-something% of GDP, is that optimum for the kind of economy we have? Because if we are not careful, it may even tip into deflation, meaning that consumers will now be entertaining what is called delay, because they want inflation to go further. So they will not be patronizing goods and services.
Okay.
You understand? Which may tip the economy into deflation.
Okay.
That is something that the managers of this economy should be wary of.
Okay.
You understand those in the helm today, given their intelligence, diligence, and sense of patriotism, they are alive to their duties, not to make this economy tip into. So, Julius, we don't have money in our pockets. So the government, because government isn't even spending. Because that is what some people say.
Okay, hold on.
Let me clarify that.
Julius, I will let you do that.
We don't have money in our pocket. I'm sure JDM and Atufosin, they are well aware that we don't have money in our pocket. Sure. They should push money into the system. So we have money in our pocket.
Okay.
Then we can get the dividend of single-digit inflation, the macro stability that they have, success that they have chalked. Then we can get a dividend of that.
All right, so we've just been joined by Abdulaziz, a member CPP National Communications Team. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Independence to you.
Thank you. The same to you.
Okay. Before you joined, I asked, Julius and Selorm if they were excited about how far Ghana has come.
Oh yes, we have to be.
Okay.
There have been numerous challenges, but we have to give thanks to the Almighty Allah and our founding fathers for the sacrifice they made. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, you all know, he didn't single-handedly, but he played the major role in getting Ghana independent. Like the way we all mention our prophet's name and we pray for them, we should also pray for Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah for his sacrifice for Ghana.
Okay.
That is where we are today.
Speaking about sacrificing so much for Ghana, I believe that our forefathers, or the very individuals who championed and pioneered Ghana's independence today, had a vision for Ghana. They had exactly how they wanted to see the country Ghana. Have we achieved that in any way?
No.
Okay.
No, because Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, in the beginning, he was pioneering for a broader West African independence.
Right.
He was looking at the total continental freedom of the African. But at the end of the day, he realized there was a movement in Ghana, UGCC, which he joined. And the UGCC members actually invited him because they realized he was championing, he was ahead of them. So when Kwame Nkrumah came to Ghana, he realized that the UGCC was not up to the task.
Okay.
So he separated from the CPP, and Kwame Nkrumah, we all know, he advocated for independence through mass mobilization, education, and we all remember the motion of destiny, which was pushed by the CPP, which led to finally Ghana gaining independence. Now, Kwame Nkrumah had a vision where he wanted Ghana to be. Kwame Nkrumah was looking at a Ghana that is economically independent, socially, culturally. So he embarked on several projects. We can make mention of the numerous projects that he has, he established under his regime. We all remember the Atomic Energy Commission. Kwame Nkrumah was envisioning a Ghana that will be industrious, that will produce what it uses. And Kwame Nkrumah was also looking at a continental unity. So he wanted Ghana to be the industrial hub, Ghana to be like how industrialization of Japan led to the industrialization of Asia. He was looking at Ghana, he was looking at positioning Ghana in that direction. Kwame Nkrumah, we all know, before the CPP came in, after independence, Ghana was not that united. Ghana was not as it is today. Through Kwame Nkrumah's ingenuity and vision, he brought in the Volta region. He added the various sections that were fighting for it.
The Volta region.
Not the Volta region, please.
We always try to correct that. Not the Volta region.
Not the Volta region.
I am from Anglo in the Volta.
Let me land. No, because there's that misperception.
It's something that is correct.
Exactly.
Let me land. You let me land. When I land, you can come. When I land, you come.
No, because there's somebody watching you live now who may just leave.
On a day like this,
it should be.
No, I'm coming. You're coming.
Yes, let me come in a minute.
Yes, it should be corrected.
Okay.
It is not the Volta region.
Yeah.
I am from Anglo in the Volta region. Anglo from Anglo all the way, touching Keta, Akachi, all of those areas, which are part of present-day Volta region, were not part of Transvolta Togoland.
Yeah.
They were part of the British colony, long before even the Ashanti conquest. The parts of the Volta region that people think is the entire Volta region is the municipalities of Ho and Hohoe, along with some parts of the, Upper East and Northern regions.
That's it.
That is what makes up the Transvolta.
Yes, so part of it.
When you say
Volta region later joined.
It's
the reason when you greet a Ghanaian, you greet somebody in Accra. So the person greets you and asks you, saying, what are you saying?
Thank you.
You understand? Meanwhile, the person is
no. So I accept my mistake on that. I'm saying that.
Okay, so I believe he has accepted.
I'm doing a broader analysis.
So don't say Volta region. Because other parts of Ghana they were also joined. Nkrumah made that efforts to make them part of Ghana. But the impression is always created that it's Volta region that was later.
And not even the Volta region as it is presently constituted.
Yes, part of it. What I'm saying is that
I'm from Tom.
So Selorm and Julius, please hold on. Let him finish, because I believe that he has.
At that time were called Eastern region.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for correcting on that. What I'm doing is that
he has accepted. So
I'm doing a broader perspective on the whole matter. And we are talking about the details. This is where you are talking about details.
Okay, so you are doing it in general.
Yeah, talking about in general. So part of it.
Okay.
So we want me to go to the nitty-gritty, fine.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that even the Ghana we have today would not have been what we have today if not Nkrumah's direct effort and vision in bringing Ghana together. So we owe it to Nkrumah for the borders that we even have today. That is what I'm trying to establish.
Okay, all right.
Now, so we realize that Kwame Nkrumah went on, not only was he a figure pioneering and pushing for development and industrialization of the country, but he went as far as enlightening the Ghanaian, writing so many books, so that the Ghanaians will go along with his vision. But alongside, what happened? His term of office was truncated by our own people, supported by foreign agents, And today, as we speak, same thing is happening in Iran, where people feel like someone must not be allowed to develop like us. So after that, we realized Kwame Nkrumah gave political independence. We were there. Up to today, we know Ghana, in terms of democracy, Ghana is ahead in all the sub-Saharan African countries. But what happened? Kwame Nkrumah was moving the further step to gain economic independence for Ghana. And that is where Osagyefo was stopped. Where, as we speak, our city is tied to foreign currencies. We depend largely on
So then you would agree to the fact that Ghana has gained political independence but hasn't gained economic independence.
And that is clear from day one.
That is where we are now.
Yeah.
That is where we are now. And I heard the president speak, our current president speak much about resetting the economy.
Right.
But that we have to also look at resetting the minds of the Ghanaian.
Okay.
Because if you look at the struggle Dr. Kwame Nkrumah made, Kwame Nkrumah even left books. Eventually, Osagyefo was like a messiah who was carrying a message. But today, young people in our schools are denied access to this knowledge. After Osagyefo was overthrown, his books were burnt. Now, when you throw away knowledge and you burn knowledge, what else is left? And that is what we are in today. So I will plead with the President Mahama, resetting the economy is not enough. You must reset the minds of Ghanaians.
And it starts through schools.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So the next question I'm going to ask, Abdul has spoken about industrialization, 69 years of Ghana gaining its independence. And he did mention that one of the things that Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was pioneering for was industrialization in Ghana. How come 69 years? It seems we haven't been able to achieve that in any way right here in Ghana. Julius, I want you to address that. Then Selorm comes in as well.
We haven't been able to. I would want to, if you would permit me, I requested a minute to clarify some few issues.
Oh, okay. What earlier you wanted to clarify?
On inflation. You see, it's important that we speak to the realities as they are on certain subjects. When you take maize, for example, until recently, until President Mahama came to office, maize was heading to 1,000 cedis per bag in the market. Today is a little over 400 cedis. More than half the price has been cut. Farmers today are saying that the maize is being left for them in their barns. That government should make sure buffer stocks comes to clear it up. And that can only be a function of reduction in prices or a function of an increase in production. It's those two things that can account for that. Rice, largely imported into this country, the prices have fallen significantly. And when rice, which is a significantly imported item, is seeing a decline in price, the indicator that speaks to it is the exchange rate. So it's what accounts for the reduction.
You are reinforcing.
I'm trying to address what you were saying, that we are not putting money into the pockets of people. There are multiple ways governments can put money into the pockets of citizens.
You have money in your pocket.
Relax.
We don't have money in your pocket.
Relax. But you were buying rice last 2 years.
No,
or last year. Can I?
See, because
were you buying rice?
You speak for government.
Selorm, can you let Julius finish?
But if you would indulge me, were you buying rice last year?
Yes.
Or maize products? You were buying rice and maize products last year or last 2 years? You were, right?
Just go ahead.
You were. You can't deny that you were.
Just go ahead.
You were.
Yeah, that is true, but overemphasizing on it.
So can you let Julius finish up? Yes.
You were. If you were buying it close to 1,000 cedis, and today, by the actions of government through economic management, you are buying it about 400 cedis. Government is putting a little over 500 cedis in your pocket as pertains the purchase of maize. You can deny it all you want. That is the fact. There are multiple ways by which government puts money into the pockets of people. One of it is reducing the cost of goods and services in the country so that the real value of the money people are holding can show. So if you are buying things for less than how much you were buying them some years ago, the government has put the difference into your pocket. It applies for maize, which is mostly produced domestically, and it applies for rice when it comes to the exchange rate factor, because it is because exchange rate is down today that you are buying rice less than what you were buying it a few years ago. So government is putting the difference into your pocket. If government's putting money into your pocket, is not only a function of the state spending. That is another way. The government can put money into the pockets of people, expenditure, because when government is spending, it means that there will be numerous government projects which people will get to work on, and then the state pays them. Is another way of putting money into people's pocket. Now, the reason why we are adopting this measure, which is economic consolidation and fiscal prudence, is because reckless government expenditure over the period, the last 8 years, and now it's 9 years, I mean, we are accounting for the 1 year that we have spent. Reckless government expenditure over the period of President Nkrumah's government has increased inflation for the people of Ghana and has made, life very difficult. So if you don't tighten and consolidate, you are going to give the economy a problem. And that also puts money in people's pocket, as I have demonstrated. So please, when we are speaking about government putting money into people's pocket, let's not only look at the expenditure aspect. We must also look at the economic management, fiscal aspect, where government reduces the cost of goods and services for you so that you don't have to spend money. You can look at it even in terms of other areas if you are not looking at domestic expenditure. Iron rods today are trading at significantly lower cost than they were trading, in previous years. All those things are ways by which government puts money into your pocket. So you cannot say that this government is not doing anything to put money into the pockets of anybody. Anything that you were buying higher in the past and now buying lower, the difference is what this government is putting into your pocket. So let's correct that.
That I agree.
You agree, don't you?
Well, Abdul, you agree with that.
Now, when we move away from that on the issues of our industrialization effort,
yes,
believe you me, Asidwa, we can bemoan the challenges we have faced in this country all we want. We have lost several years that we were supposed to make progress. As he rightly outlined, the Osagyefo had a certain dream for this country, which includes total control of our natural resources, first of all, and total exercise of sovereignty, not only in Ghana, but in the entire African continent. That was truncated. If you read Osagyefo's Conscientism, you would see that the man truly understands where Africa was within the larger global geopolitical context. And he understood that at the time we had no stake. What he wanted to do is to ensure that Africa, and by extension Ghana, had a stake in geopolitical affairs. To do that, you must first take control over your natural resources, you must produce your goods and services internally, and you must reduce your dependency. It's different from interdependence because we need to trade with other countries and all of that. It's different from interdependence. You must reduce your dependence, the chronic dependency which we currently suffer. When I was talking about rice, I clearly mentioned that we importing largely. Exactly. That is chronic dependency on other people. So Osagyefo wanted to reduce that. It is the reason why he embarked on most of his industrialization policies, including even the Akosombo Dam project, including the thermal community developments to support the industries that he was putting up and all of that. All that was truncated by the 1960s. It's cool if we would be honest with ourselves. That truncation led this country into a series of coups and counter-coups that derailed our progress. Now we have instituted for ourselves a democratic regime that has persisted for the last 30 years. It also has its flaws and all of that. But what we need to be doing as a people is looking forward. We have made our laws, we must understand that laws. And people that do not know their history cannot know how to progress from there. We must understand that laws, how it has hurt us, and now put ourselves in the current geopolitical context. How is Ghana fitting in this present geopolitical context? When the president spoke last at the State of the Nation address, he made a very profound statement that nobody paid attention to. He said that we are in a geopolitical context where the very architects of this order are willing to relax the rules if Africa, and by extension Ghana, want to play within that same rules and reassert ourselves. Which means that we are in a geopolitical context where the West, the East, wherever we are not aligned, will change the rules if it suits them. So we must now begin to look inward. How do we deal with these problems? When cocoa pricing issues came up recently, as I always say, it is easier to lie and deceive than for the lie or the deceit to be corrected. You will recall that there was a general spin around this whole cocoa issue. A commodity which is traded on the forces of demand and supply. When I was talking about maize, I told you it rose all the way up to about 1,000 cedis some years ago. Today it's around 400 cedis. Do maize sellers ask that, is the fault of government? It is not necessarily the fault of government. It is the force of demand and supply that is at play. The same thing applies to cocoa. But what was the response? We put a political spin on it to make it look as though one government is deliberately reducing the price at which cocoa is being purchased, which is not the case. It's the force of demand and supply. But why are we even at the mercy of those forces in the first place? It is because over the period, we have not taken any deliberate action to ensure that we control what happens to cocoa. Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire control over 60% of the world cocoa output. We produce the highest quality grade of cocoa all over the world, Ghana. But we don't have control over what happens in the determination of price because we don't process the damn thing here. Yeah. Because we don't process it here. And if I tell you that the installed capacity of the cocoa processing plants that are in Ghana far exceed what we exported in year 2024, would you believe it? It far exceeds what we exported in year 2024 because in year 2024, we're supposed to export about 800 tons of cocoa. We're unable to meet that. We exported a little over 530 tons of cocoa. The installed capacity of cocoa processing in this country exceeds 500,000 tons. But what happens? We enter into forward sale agreements, okay, that lock in our cocoa production to foreigners. And so whatever we produce, we have already contracted it off. So our domestic factories don't have any to process. Now, President Mahama is saying that to deal with that problem, we will be supplying our beans to the local processors. The impact, if Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire alone are supplying more than 60% of the world cocoa output, if Ghana is processing a larger chunk of its beans in Ghana, the ripple effect on the global market is to increase the price. That is what we are going to achieve. And President Mahama has set that target for the country's tenure will expire in 2029, January 2029. Mm-hmm. But the target is to ensure that by year 2030, Ghana is able to process all of its cocoa beans domestically. Okay. We must begin to look forward on the policies that we are implementing and how they turn around these circumstances. Now, when you look at gold also, what has this administration been doing? Over the years, we have been borrowing to shore up our forest reserves. Exchange rate control. We borrow money, okay, we borrow dollars just to put in our central bank for so that people can follow. We don't want to go into the technicality. We literally borrow money, okay, and pay interest on it. Just to shore up our currency so that we don't have inflation in this country, so that our exchange rate does not spiral. And we pay interest on that, such that in situations where we are unable to borrow, then our CD crashes. That is what happened in 2022, because the borrowing became excessive, we were unable to service our loans, and then the market was closed to us, so our CD was crashing down. President Mahama and his administration today are leveraging our natural resources the way the Osagyefo would have done it. He's saying that we will leverage on our gold for exchange rates, for forex. And when we are doing that, last year, 2025, we brought in over 10 billion at a cost of around about over $200 million. If we were doing the same thing at the rate at which Oforiatta was borrowing, we would have been paying over $800 million in interest. At the same time, the principal, which is the loan we have taken to put in the central bank to shore up our currency, would have to be paid. Today, we are addressing that by leveraging our natural resources. That is what the Osagyefo would have done. That is what we are doing. So we must begin to look forward. Okay. The policies we are implementing, are they changing the course, the wrong course that we have been on for several years? Yeah. If they are not changing the wrong course that we have been on for several years, we are not doing anything. And believe you me, people would argue for drastic measures, revolutionary measures, and all of that. But if you understand the geopolitical context we are in, President Mahama's approach on several fronts has been working. The last thing I'll address and drop the mic, is the issue of how we relate with our neighbors over here. President Nkrumah's policy was to ensure friendship with all peoples of the world. More importantly, the people of Africa, because he was pursuing African unity. Right. In that pursuit, President Nkrumah even intended from the onset for West Africa to be one, as my brother was rightly narrating. During the Eswar administration, what were we seeing? We were even trying to isolate people on our very border. Burkina Faso. President Mahama's policy today is to ensure that we extend a hand of friendship to our West African neighbors to ensure that we can deal with our sub-regional problems through dialogue. We had a situation where we had the President of Ghana in the White House before Anthony Blinken, a Secretary for Foreign Affairs of the United States, a Secretary of State, if permits me, reporting our neighbors, reporting the President of the Republic of Ghana, behaving as a CIA agent, reporting our neighbors to Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State of the United States. President Mahama today is extending a hand of friendship to our neighbors, appointing an envoy to those countries, saying that we will not estrange those neighbors because for one reason or the other, they have departed from the democratic path that we are sticking to. We need to keep that contact to be able to even dialogue and think about what sort of governance would even work there. If we are able to influence, if we will be able to influence what happens in Burkina Faso, we'll be able to do it through friendship, not estrangement, not force, not reporting them to foreign powers.
You know, speaking about those countries, you know, moving away from democratical rule and all of that, it generated a number of questions on social media, most especially here in Ghana, where people were asking if that should be introduced here in Ghana, would that work? Can it work in any way?
I don't think we need to tread that path. Because if you are on a path that is working, why would you want to
sway away?
Yes, and if you're on a path that you have consolidated for 30 years and have seen significant progress while on that path, why would you want to sway on a path that, in fact, history teaches you does not work?
Right.
It is not the case that we have not had coup leaders in this country before. We have had a coup in 66, we have had a coup in 79, we have had a coup in 81. All of that, where did it lead us? The history tells us that it does not work. It does not work. So we do not need a coup in this country for this country to work. And indeed, that contrast, today is Independence Day. And a lot of people are wondering whether government has made any progress or not. If you make the contrast between what happens in Ghana, what happens in Cote d'Ivoire, what happens in Togo, what happens in Burkina Faso, you would see that the difference is really stark.
Okay.
We are different. In Togo, for example, you have the Nyashingbe family governing that country for more than 50 years. In Cote d'Ivoire, you have Alassane Ouattara extending his term anytime he pleases.
Right.
In Burkina Faso, you have a coup leader today.
Okay.
In Ghana, we have a democratic country with a president that people are urging on to run for a third term, who has come out boldly to tell the people of the Republic of Ghana that I would respect the term limit, I will leave when it's time. That is the stark difference between Ghana and the other sub-region.
Okay, Julius, thank you very much. Yeah, I want Selorm to come in on this. But before Selorm comes in, this is the Newsflash segment on Prime Morning, and we are talking about Ghana's 69th independence. After 69 years of gaining independence, have you seen, anything drastic? Would you want anything changed in Ghana? What would that be? You get the opportunity to join us on Zoom a little later. But before that, you're going to hop onto our social media platforms on Facebook. It is Joy Prime TV. Our WhatsApp number is 055-157-5757. Now, Selorm, I also want you to address the issue of industrialization.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Naturally, I would have wanted to again talk about Julius's reaction to...
So you want to... No, I thought we had gone past it.
No, the thing is this, because it seems
I can understand.
we're speaking at cross purpose.
I can understand.
You understand?
Okay.
We're speaking at cross purpose. Because, even when I came and I saw Julius, I was wondering whether we would get somebody who would, be holding a different view other than what Julius and I will be holding.
We will be holding.
It appears we are all Nkrumahists here.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, Julius is a younger brother. Okay. I'm going to tell him this.
Okay.
I witnessed J. Rawlings's administration between 1996 to the year 2001 when he handed over to Kufuor.
Yeah.
I witnessed Kufuor's administration till he handed over to Professor John Evans at Tamils. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace. All the communicators of those administrations, this is a tangent. The stark reality on the ground is that people are not saying that prices of goods, they are not denying the fact that prices of goods and services have declined.
Okay.
There is no gainsaying.
Okay.
But what is on the lips of people on the street is that there is no money for us to buy the goods and services.
Yes.
So Julius, take that as a communicator. I don't want us to fall into the trap of what we experienced under Kufuor. When things were going a different direction, they were still telling us that they were taking rational decision, or what they were doing was being led by what? A sense of prudence. No. They were clearly engaging in profligacy at the time. Yeah. They were wasteful. We were telling them that no, you had to husband the resources of this country. They wouldn't listen to us, and they crashed this economy. You understand?
Okay.
So this is an honest feedback to the government that what people are saying is that there is no money for us to buy
to access the
reduced price of maize.
Okay.
You go to Nkrumahism market. You know Nkrumahism market. Go and do a vox pops there. That is the hub of where they sell gari. It is like an international market for quality, like high quality, tasty gari.
Okay.
The farmers, the producers of gari today, they are wailing and lamenting. Why? The dynamics in that market are no different from the dynamics in the cocoa market. You know, the buyers determine the price of our cocoa. You know, that's what happens in the international market. Yeah. When we take our cocoa to the international market to sell, it is the buyers that determine the price, not you, the producer. It is the same thing that happens that is happening in Nkrumahism. So, given this reduction in prices of goods and services, they are it has exacerbated their plight the more. You see, that is what is happening. So, there is no gainsaying at all that this government hasn't achieved macro stability or hasn't put this country on an irreversible path of macro stability. Because when you achieve macro stability, you are able to sustain it, then that is when we will begin to yield the dividend of your efforts of stabilizing the economy. But as we speak now, Julius, we don't have money in our pocket. You understand? It is not lost on us that when prices of goods and services reduce, it is government is indirectly putting money into our pocket. It is not lost on us at all. But we're saying that as we speak now, we are not saying government should literally put money into our pocket. When Professor Mers said on the rostrum that they will put money in our pocket, we all understood that to mean that they will create jobs for us. They will embark on economic stability that will lead into inflation coming down or declining. That's it. Look, now back to your question.
Yes.
Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was a man who was ahead of his time. There is no doubt at all about that. He understood the time he was, and he was ahead of it and ahead of his peers. That is why he was peerless and still peerless in terms of leadership. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had a vision, a noble vision, a vision that could have lifted Ghana from penury to prosperity. Okay. He was trying diligently to create Ghana as an industrial and intellectual hub, which will now be the beacon of the other African countries to follow. Unfortunately, his regime or administration, because it was a political administration, not a regime. Regime was what we witnessed under Dzramado. No. Regime, we have political regime. Okay. What is obtaining in Ghana today under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is administration. Okay. But what obtained under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo
is a regime of cronies.
It was a regime
of cronies.
It was a kleptocratic, corrupt regime. Kakistocracy to some extent. Okay. Yes. It was a blend of the two. Kakistocracy and kleptocracy. Government of the inept. There was gross ineptitude and then theft, plain graft. That was what we witnessed. That's why that era should not be referred to as a Akufo-Addo administration. It should be referred to as a Akufo-Addo kleptocratic regime.
My goodness.
That was what we witnessed. What is happening today? So Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's administration was a foresighted administration. It was an administration that was, diligently pursuing a goal of making Ghana the industrial hub, intellectual hub, because he himself was a peerless leader. You understand? That is it. So Osagyefo, because of the truncation of his administration, it has derailed our development as a country. Okay. But fortunately, today as we speak now, NDC kind of is suffering what is called entryism. I use this word in a positive sense. Okay. Entryism, it's a kind of political concept where a group of people move into a particular political party in order to change the ideology of that particular political party. And NDC is actually battling with that. You know, because NDC has Nkrumahist. You know, so now when we say those who control, who call the shots in the NDC now, they are Nkrumahists. Okay. Because they kind of came from that pedigree, that stock, to join the NDC. Okay. You understand? So today you can clearly see elevation and pursuit of Nkrumah agenda. Okay. That is what is taking place now. Okay. That is what is happening. Okay. And it's good that we are witnessing that a group of people who believe in the Nkrumah ideology joined the NDC because they saw the NDC as a party that was very close in terms of ideology to the Nkrumahism. Okay. So when they join, now that they have the influence and the clout to actually determine the direction of the party, they are pursuing
their liberty to do it.
Exactly, and they are pursuing the Nkrumahism, which will kneel or redound to the credit of Ghanaians, because that will mean that we will now be seeing acceleration in the economic development of this country. Right. Then when we are able to get that acceleration, it means we are now, we will become fully economic, we will gain economic independence.
With what you're saying now, would it, can you also say, or would you also mean that this particular regime, or
it's administration, don't call it regime.
This current administration.
If they also start doing something and they want to take a leave from Akufo-Addo, then that is what we'll start calling a regime. Okay. But I don't think the direction they are going, that they will ever do that.
Okay. So this current administration.
And in any case, I take no offense at all if you say that there has been an infiltration of Nkrumahists into NDC. I mean,
I knew that he was going to address it, but I'll give you the way to do that.
That's why I said I was using the word entryism.
I take a positive sense.
Not in a.
I mean, he did say that, looking at it on the positive side.
Yeah.
So
I meant it not in the mischievous manner.
Right.
No.
So yes, please, I will let you do that. But I want him to answer this question for me. That looking at this current administration and what they are doing, would you say that would that mean that with what you're saying that this is the first time that it looks we are feeling the continuation of exactly what Nkrumah wanted to do for Ghana?
But I wouldn't say that entirely. Because what is happening is this. You know, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama had the opportunity to steer the affairs of this country between 2022 of 2016.
Yes.
Okay. When he was in the helm, you could see, you know, the Nkrumah
but Ghanaians believed that it wasn't a good one.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. That a government could build, you know, infrastructure, could build a solid, robust economy. But if you're not careful, you want to rely on that. Your party may lose election, or you may even lose the election and be asking yourself, why? Okay. Because we did all this thing. My brother said something, and that is germane to the discussion we're having. If our discussion is bankrupt of that thing, then we are not having any discussion to guide us or to to accelerate our forward march. Attitude, orientation. Okay. It's very important. Okay. You know, countries or societies that have leapfrogged, it's the mentality of that society. As you speak now, Ghana is a dishonest society. Okay. We are dishonest. Okay. So it's not only the political class. The political class, they have actually emanated from the society to be where they are. So when we say these people are corrupt, these people are that.
It started from the society.
Good, because you yourself, you go and put pressure on the politician, Nkrumah, in a pensive mode. Yeah. You see, may his soul continue to rest in peace. Amen. And may his spirit continue to get us buoyed up to do the right thing for this country. You see, so dishonesty.
Yes.
You know, in economics, we have factors of production, things that you do to, you know, help your economy grow. Okay. Factors. Yeah. There are intangible factors as well. Those ones, they are not even taught in school. They only tell you get to have land, you have to get capital, no. But the intangible ones are usually not taught in school. You know, there's one that is the dishonesty. It is an intangible economic negativity that drag progress of a society. So you have countries that are well resourced, they are well endowed with natural resources,
like Ghana,
but are struggling to develop. Why? It is a society. It is a dishonest society. So today, if Ghanaians have changed their mind that, oh no, when I get the opportunity to serve this country, I must be able to serve this country to the full of to my fullest potential, and then to do it in such a manner that when I'm no more, posterity will look at my work and smile.
And smile, yeah, be happy.
You understand? Right? Because, you know, our constitution has tied posterity to whatever we do today. So those who will come before after us cannot say that we're not part of this thing when we're doing it.
Before elections, usually politicians, these are some of the things they tell Ghanaians. These are the things that they make us excited about what having them in power.
So we need to do orientation. It was Jack J. Kufuor's era when he created the Ministry of National Orientation and blah, blah, blah. By the time there was some kind of disconnect between what they were pushing, what they wanted to push, and what they themselves were doing. Because we were looking at what they were doing and decided not to follow what they were telling us. We were following what they were doing.
So you see, it comes down to the question of what you promise, what you campaign, what you excite Ghanaians that you would do, if voted for. The moment power comes into your hands and it becomes a whole different story altogether.
But today we are not experiencing that. Today we are not experiencing that. I'm not holding brief for government. I don't speak for government.
Yeah.
You know? I only express my objective patriotic views on issues.
Right.
You know, recently, just about a couple of days ago, the government announced revocation of recruitment between a certain period. Correct. I was on another sister. I was on a sister station.
Okay.
And this same question was asked because some time ago, especially under the Akufo-Addo era, I was the president of Unemployed Graduate Network. Correct. So when the government announced that in a press conference that they indeed revoke the appointment of those Ghanaians, they wanted to find out my view on it. And I said, no, the government must be commended because they told us that they will do it. You understand? That is the kind of government I want. I want bold leadership. Government should not be beholden always to the dictates of the electorate. You understand? Because then it means you only want to gain electoral advantage in all the decisions you take. There are decisions that you may take as a leader that will make you unpopular.
But it includes the necessary cocoa decision.
But in the long run, you will be praised.
Okay.
You understand? You see the cocoa thing?
Yes.
It's a blessing in disguise.
Even
if the world market should even shut their doors to the purchase of Ghanaian cocoa, I will be on cloud 9. Yes.
Okay.
You see, necessity is the mother of invention. You understand? That is something that should be guiding us. Okay. You see, if they were to shut the door, that we are no longer going to purchase Ghanaian cocoa, what do you think will happen? Now we will become innovative and imaginative in the use
wanting to, rely on what we have in here.
How to add value to our cocoa.
Yes.
You understand? How to add value to our cocoa. You understand? And not only cocoa. Not only cocoa. You know, now there are crops that can even overtake cocoa in terms of the money, the amount of money cocoa brings into this economy. But because of our fixation and obsession with the cocoa,
we are not paying attention to the others.
If my brother is done with this thing, I'm sure we'll have to talk about that.
Yes,
we'll talk about that as well.
That's okay. Abdul is coming on there.
Yes,
my Julius will be actively involved in that discussion.
Yes. Okay. First of all, I would like to also take this opportunity, today's anniversary, to say thank you to President Mahama for changing the name of our airports. God bless him, and history will remember him for what he has done. All Pan-Africanists and all conscious black people all over the world always question that how can a man who has committed such a great sin as Kotoka is named, or his name... He is like the face of Ghana. And what President Mahama has done is a big demonstration that he's a true Nkrumahist. He's a true Pan-Africanist, and he's a man and a leader of higher conscience. So Thank him very much. And secondly, I also like to take this opportunity to thank him for bringing stability to West Africa.
Okay.
I was shocked that the defense minister, a young man who is supposed to know better and advise the old Akufo-Addo, was mounting stages preaching attacks, invasion of Niger, Burkina. I was shocked. Akufo-Addo and his guys really took Ghana back. And the honor that we lost, President Mahama brought it back. And we are all grateful. You see, we have to always recognize and acknowledge our people when they do the right thing. It really doesn't matter.
Actually, before you continue on this, I know that you're the CEO of West Africa Freedom Initiative, and I would want you to speak on West Africa's security in general, looking at the short term and the long term as well.
So I'm looking at President Mahama is carrying out Nkrumah's vision in a very moderate way, in accordance with the global challenge, the geopolitical challenges that we exist today. So I'm recognizing him because we have to recognize our own when they do the right thing. But one thing that we have to mention, my brother made mention of it. You see, NDC is a hybrid of CPP. It's a high time. I would like to encourage President Mahama and the NDC. They should give a recognition to Nkrumah in the party. Because
Nkrumah in the NDC
they should acknowledge
party.
Nkrumah as a founding member, because the NDC built on the structures of the CPP. We all know the CPP was banned, was dissolved, and reformed in 1996. But then the NDC took over the brain and the intelligence of CPP. So what is wrong with acknowledging the fact that I come from here? The NDC should be bold to come out. The NDC is the best Nkrumahs we have today, modern Nkrumahs, very intelligent group of people. Why are they afraid to acknowledge, put Nkrumah's name as a founding member? Because remember,
but the CPP still enjoys the benefit of Article 40.
I wanted to actually ask about that.
And in any case, the CPP, which is the CPP of today, is an offshoot of the CPP of Nkrumah. I think they are two different things. Because
what I'm saying is that we are Nkrumahs.
I'm going to say that if you want to make this speech, the CPP of today must officially make that recognition, and then get the NDC to buy into it.
Yes, but the NDC have to also be willing to acknowledge. You see, it's all about acknowledgement.
Willing first before you make a proposal.
No, but we don't have to will, because you are tapping into the resources, the intellectual resources, and the direction and the vision. It's all CPP. So if you can come to my house,
it is all CPP.
It is all CPP.
Founder is Jerry Rawlings.
President Mahama
will not shy away from associating with Nkrumah.
President Mahama,
I don't think that the NDC will shy away from associating with Nkrumah.
President Mahama,
the point I'm making is that if you want to make that pitch, make it.
What I'm saying is, we don't have to make it. What I'm saying is that
you want NDC.
I'm not talking about CPP.
You want NDC to acknowledge
Osagyefo Dr.
Kwame Nkrumah.
But the NDC is actually doing that thing
from
by elevating the status of Osagyefo Dr.
Of course.
Kwame Nkrumah.
But what happened when President Mahama is not there? The next NDC leader who will come, will they carry the same vision? So what I'm saying is that
you said the NDC is a hybrid.
That is why
it depends on the leader you have.
As you speak now,
it depends on the leader you have.
The Rawlings faction in the NDC now, they are kind of, for want of a better word, tamed. You understand? Because what is happening today, it's Nkrumahism. Okay, somebody will take over and then we'll start elevating the Rawlings.
Julius, do you believe that the Rawlings faction?
I don't agree.
That he's talking.
I don't agree because no political party even want to discuss
that is not the case. Even if you take the New Patriotic Party of today, just oppose it against the NDC, there's always a transition of leadership and factions that govern a particular group. The New Patriotic Party moved from Edubuahin to President Kufuor. And can you speak of the Edubuahin bloc when President Kufuor was there? No. And then he moves to Nanado Dankwa Kufuor. Can you speak of a certain Kufuor bloc when Kufuor was there? No. Today the MPP and its organs are controlled by Mahamudu Bawumia. Can you speak of Nanado? with Bawumia in the contest. No, it is the same thing. There is no deliberate effort by anybody
you want to say that
in the NDC.
That Bawumia has a total control over the MPP now.
Eventually he will.
Don't take away my time.
Eventually he will.
That is where I'm coming.
There is no deliberate. Let me clarify that, then you go on. There is no deliberate effort by anybody, President Mahama of all people, to tame any people associated
no. That's why I said
there's no such thing.
For want of a better word, he used that.
Okay, thank you. That is why I'm saying that. I'm speaking as an Nkrumahist. That is why I'm insisting that.
Some things must be clarified.
Speaking as an Nkrumahist, I know President Mahama is an Nkrumahist. He's a Pan-Africanist. The success that he's chopping, for it to be maintained, there need to be some structural changes within the NDC. Why do I say so? Because if you don't do that, the CPP youth will not be, the NDC youth probably will not get that direction, that conscientism or conscience that they need to get that. This is our role model that we have to take. It's not just talking about Nkrumah on platforms, but he should be part of, because as we speak,
regardless of what this administration, regardless of what this administration is doing, are you not feeling? Are you not
need a recognition of Nkrumah as?
So you want there to be a verbal and official
recognition of Nkrumah within the NDC,
the spiritual father of the party, or something.
Someone an inspiration.
If you have this proposal, formally make it to the NDC.
He's floating.
You should.
I think he started.
I do not think that the NDC I associate with would be shy to associate with Nkrumah or even recognize him as one of the ideological influences over the party. I don't think the NDC
so it should be official. It should be. It's not only when official. It's not only when you need some inspiration, you go and take it, and then that is it. We should make it official so that, because NDC and MPP are the major political parties in Ghana, followed by the CPP. Now, if the youth of these political parties get to know that this is, or let's say NDC make it official, and the youth recognize and see Nkrumah as a role model, what happens? We all know what Nkrumah stands for. Nkrumah served as a big inspiration for all of us. He gave us direction, political. He touted for African liberation, African independence. Just imagine the MPP propagating JB Dankwa and Bujia to the youth, to their party members, the youth. How can you promote JB Dankwa, who was a traitor? Buzia, who went to the Queen and told them we are not ready for independence.
But the thing is, if Dramani Mahama is successfully, steward.
So what I'm saying is that
then Mahama becomes the model,
of course,
of whoever takes over from the NDC to follow.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that we have to. President Mahama have to make that effort.
That's what he's looking forward to.
He has to make that.
There has to be an official.
It has to write to the NDC that.
Although
have to write.
So
President Mahama is a product of CPP.
And we are saying that
he's a son of Nkrumahism.
Yes, as a product of Nkrumahism. He is now directing the affairs of this country. And we can see that clearly in him, that this is a product of Nkrumah. So if John Mahama is done, His Excellency is done, whoever takes over from John Dramani Mahama, John Mahama now becomes the paragon.
Of course.
The model now for that person to follow. So indirectly, Nkrumah is still...
But that is not enough.
In any case, this issue can be made simple if my brother is willing to formally pitch this idea.
But that is what we are doing.
So he started.
Because Kwame Nkrumah is an icon. Kwame Nkrumah is an icon. And any African, regardless where you are, once you see Nkrumah as a role model, and you learn, you study about Nkrumah, you are a totally different human being.
Of course.
A search was done in the United States about black communities in terms of development, right? And they came out that most Africans who were Nkrumahists, who were Pan-Africanists, were the most successful people among all black people.
Okay.
Yes. So it's high time, because young people need direction.
And I believe that it will boil down to the very
role model in Ghana. There are many.
The statement you started with, the mindset.
The mindset. We have to propagate Nkrumah's ideas. Even as Nkrumah left, as he has left us, he wrote a book called Neocolonialism. That is what the Messiah does. He is gone.
Right.
But he's telling you what is to come.
Okay.
So who else do we need? Kwame Nkrumah is our Jesus, the Jesus of our time. Yes.
You know.
So
Okay.
we don't need to.
Thank you. I will let you continue.
Yeah,
Selorm, don't worry, I'll come to you. But we need to let our viewers feel and know that, you know, we are seeing them, so we have to read some messages. Let's take this one. Good morning, Joy Prime. Please let the NDC guy know. A year ago, we were buying power, electricity, 50 Ghana cedis for 1 month. Now we are buying 300 Ghana cedi per month. They are robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, so don't worry.
You want me to address that?
Don't worry.
Oh.
Let me read the messages so you can put that down so you can address it. Please, good morning. It seems Julius is not being controlled by the host. Oh, he talks too much. This is from Kofi. My darling, please take your time. Okay, let's move on. Let's take the next one. Okay. The truth is the fact is what Julius is saying. He's exposing a very comprehensive and simple problem of the cocoa. Any deviation from what Julius is saying is a falsehood. Okay, comparing Gary to cocoa, do we sell? Okay, let's move on. Good morning, Joy Prime. How Selorm described the Akufo-Addo regime. Kindly help me tell him Nkrumah was a tyrant dictator as well who became power drunk is the reason we have chieftaincy disputes to date. Cephas logic from Pave, Newtown. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see. All right, Ghana is 69 years old and there is nothing to write home about. What I expected the leadership to change is the exportation of goods in the system, which can be done here in Ghana. Ghana is not progressing, but rather regressing. Why are we still experiencing doomsday and paying expensive electricity bills? It's about time the politicians stop lying to get power. Look at what this current administration, led by Mahama, has done to the cocoa farmers. Deceptive, wicked and insensitive. Instead of paying them 3,600 Ghana cedis, you have drastically reduced it to 2,500 Ghana cedis. Ghanaians are watching. Happy Independence Day to Mahmoud Obaumia, Samolo Say, Sarkodie, Abdullah Saleh and Hajia Safia. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, let's take this one. Good morning, Esedua and your panelists. Sweet and watering mouth talk can't convince the Ghanaian voter anymore. Maybe only the appointees of the government like Julius have money in their pockets because they draw fat salaries. No, please, let's be calming down. Let's do the math. The so-called food independence we all called for is being treated like trash by this NDC administration. You open the gate for party cronies to import rice, maize, soya beans, etc. The homegrown farmers are suffering financially because their farm produce are let to rot for lack of buyers. How will Ghana be food independent if we import food that is glut in our own soil? Electricity tariffs will kill us. What will it benefit the Ghanaian if rice is reduced, but water and electricity tariffs are skyrocketing? Very soon, this artificial manipulation of data by this government will be exposed. This is from Rashid Wild West. All right. So, moving on, Michael from Springtech. Good morning, Madam Host, and to your panelists. Mr. Selorm has said all. In fact, Mr. Selorm is in the spirit to know what is dragging this country backwards. As a citizen, we need to change our mentality towards Ghana. We are no more under colonization, and we need to build on Nkrumah vision. Thanks. Where are the factories that Kwame Nkrumah built? Where are Kwame Nkrumah's policies, and are some of them implemented? All right, so good morning, Esedua. Is the topic about Ghana achievements or NPP? The big question is why were Ghanaians excited and very joyful when the 1996 coup happened? Nkrumah was not 100%. He has his flaws. Good morning, Esedua. My sympathies to Mr. Michael Otima for Deputy Director of Finance, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. Your dear mother, Deaconess Esther Marfo, a.k.a. Mame Marfo, goes home tomorrow at Asante Mampong. May God comfort you in this difficult time. Okay, this is from Nane Kuyamoa Wating Able Kuma. Okay, all right. So we have some more messages, but we'll read these ones for now. But you can contribute some more on our WhatsApp number 055-157-5757. Okay, so Abdul, before I come to the question I asked earlier about West Africa's security challenges, okay, I want Julius to address this for me. So It's in relation to First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Bernard Ahiafo, referring Minority Leader to the Privileges Committee. I want you to address that bit for me.
The Minority Leaders issue is one of the most unfortunate. You recall, if you were reading the messages now, someone was saying that Nkrumah was a brutal dictator and all manner of labelings. The weaponization of, a smear campaign, tags of corruption and all of that. Of course, Nkrumah, like all other human beings, cannot be a saint. He wasn't a saint. No one said that. It's the same thing we are seeing today, where some people deliberately try to tarnish the images of some other people as a way of advancing their politics. You saw what happened on the floor. The honorable minority leader of all people, who until recently was majority leader, so he has experience in parliamentary affairs, was labeling the honorable Muntaka, Minister for Interior. As corrupt and presiding over a certain rot in the Ministry of Interior with regards to recruitment. And for a moment, someone would think that there was something in that. And he chose the day of the State of the Nation's address, of all other days, to do that. And that should tell you the deliberateness of the action. Because on the day of the reading of the State of the Nation's address, all Ghanaians are glued to their screens. And so if you decide, instead of addressing the issues the president has spoken about, to make up a corruption story and smear your colleague, who for all intents and purposes is delivering very well at the Ministry of Interior. Most people don't know, but the Honorable Muntaka doubles as the Minister for National Security. It is lost on a lot of people. You have seen what the NPP did with the Ministry of National Security over the period. Tagri, ordinary Nooks election, even Nooks election, when we go, they bring National Security apparatus to come and beat us over there. We have seen 2 by-elections so far under Muntaka in, Akwetia. And then Ayawaso East, the contested ones. The Tamale one was not contested. Did you see anybody brutalized over there? No. None of all that. That is how he's delivering on his job. We have seen rent and all of those things that were supposed to be paid for security workers, the police, immigration officers, and all of those things were left behind. Muntaka is ensuring that that is done. The arrears were paid recently, I think 2 or 3 days ago, cleared. None of that was spoken about. A colleague, and I'm a Catholic. The Honorable Afenyo Makin is also a Catholic. We have Lent that coincides with the Ramadan fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
we are all fasting.
Yeah.
You are fasting, he's fasting. Then you choose this period of all times to dishonestly smear him. Then turn around on an ordinary day. Because on the State of the Nation's address, doing so now, all eyes are watching. You smear him. Then turn around on an ordinary day and say you have retracted it. I mean, that was gross injustice to the honorable member. I think that it is the same thing, and it is reminiscent of how the MPP plays their politics. They smear you. When there is real issues of corruption or allegations of corruption against people, you can make them. That is the role of the minority. That is the role of opposition in our governance. You can make them. But you come and make unfounded claims. And when you look at the company they were talking about, that same entity was operating under their administration. At what point did it become corruption? Simply because Muntaka is the one who now heads the place. So I think that he did the Honorable Muntaka gross injustice, especially looking at the stellar leadership he is delivering at the Ministry of Interior and Ministry of National Security.
Okay.
By doing that on the day of the State of the Nation address, then turn around during an ordinary session of Parliament, say that I withdraw it without consequence. I think that there should be consequences. Withdraw an apology of a statement that is so defamatory, and it is only excused by reason of parliamentary privilege. And so he cannot be dragged to court. But that sort of attitude must have internal discipline. Sure. You don't just say that, smear the person to the public on a day that everybody is watching. Then during an ordinary session of Parliament, you say you have withdrawn it to tarnish his image and go. Muntaka has been in our politics, especially parliamentary, since 2005, if I'm not making a mistake. Oh, I think that there should be consequences, as I said. Simply withdrawing should not let him go off the hook. Because you can't come and smear me today. Let everybody watch. Come and apologize tomorrow when everybody is not watching and just go. I think there should be consequences. That committee hearing should proceed. We should look into it. On what basis did he make the claim?
Okay.
Let it go on record.
Okay.
That there was no such thing, because even the apology that he said he rendered, it was a very qualified apology. That if you feel offended by it, if it results to allusions of so and so. No, it was a very qualified apology. The process should continue. Let him, make an unreserved apology for starters.
Okay.
Then secondly, there must be some internal checks on these things, because if we don't check it, do you know what I can do? If we're in Parliament, let's assume we are parliamentary colleagues. I can choose days that I know that everybody is watching, the whole country is watching, in fact, the whole world is watching, to taint you. Then the next day I'll come and say, oh, Mr. Speaker, I withdraw.
Okay.
Then the perception is out there that you are engaging in corruption. The recruitment that is going on presently, the Honorable Muntaka has ensured that the process is so clean. Okay. When you are associated with government, I'm saying something, when you are associated with government, there's a certain notion that, let me just sum up, 30 seconds. There's a certain notion that, there should be protocol with almost everything. And you remember, the same person who was accusing Muntaka was on the floor of Parliament saying that he would be coming for protocol postings and all of those things. There's that notion. This same individual is ensuring that there is a certain fairness in the system, so that the ordinary Ghanaian who does not necessarily know a politician will stand a chance at recruitment. Then you come to the floor, you smear him, and then come back and say you have apologized. I think that we should not allow these things. The same things were done to the Osagyefo. It is the same things they are attempting to do to President Mahama's government, and they are beginning to target his appointees one by one. That is what they are doing. And so we should not allow that. There must be consequences for this behavior.
Abdulaziz, I want you to come in on Africa's security challenges. What would be that short-term and long-term solutions?
Thank you very much. Yeah. Basically, to continue from where I left, after thanking President Mahama for his great Pan-African, for the great steps he has taken in the Pan-African struggle, we would like to also encourage him that we, as an NGO, West African Federation Initiative, we believe that he should go further, not just bringing stability to West Africa, but we believe that ECOWAS, at its stance, have failed, and that we are propagating for a new federation of West Africa, a West Africa that will be integrated, that will establish a federal system like the United States. It's an idea I want the president to carry. We wish to sell to the president to carry on. We believe that the people of West Africa, we are one family. Historically, we are one family, one culture, one destiny. So we believe we have to not forget about the African Union, but a continental unity would be very impossible. Because the Osagyefo, when he was championing for continental unity, he got to a time he realized that would be difficult to achieve. So what did he do? He formed, he and Keita, and he and Modibo Keita of Mali and Secretary of Guinea formed the Ghana-Guinea-Mali Union in West Africa. So Kwame Nkrumah have always given us the direction. It's only we refuse to follow. So we have also sat down and realized that African Union is an impossibility. With the Arabs in the north, they will never unite with us. They have been our adversaries. They are behind all the challenges we are facing. We have to recognize that. So we would like to use this opportunity to encourage the president that he should explore in that direction and see how possible West Africa, even if not now, we can inculcate that in our educational system so that the young ones coming, if we are not able to achieve that, they can achieve that. Now, security-wise, as we speak, recently Ghanaians were killed in Burkina Faso.
Yes.
Terrorists killing people all over the place. Why is it happening so? It's because we have decided to overlook a historical antecedent, a historical fact that as Africans, people have always come from the north. Enslavers, the Arab slave trade started before the transatlantic slave trade. They came and took our people, sold that into slavery. As we speak now, Boko Haram, all these terrorists are funded by foreign agents, people who are not Africans. So the question, why is it that West Africa, we have 16 countries, we are unable to come together and establish a security platform? That, okay, why don't we create a corridor in northern Mali, Burkina? We have West Africa, we have a population of about 500 million people. We have young men being wasted, unemployed.
So if we can't do anything at all, why can't we form? I know we had ECOMOG some time ago that helped bring peace in Selorm. Why do we throw away that?
In Liberia.
In Liberia. We should look into and explore these areas. And I know the challenge is big. And we are saying this because we know we have someone we can trust, President Mahama, who loves his people, he loves his country, he's an Nkrumahist. So necessity, they say, is a matter of invention. The fact that we have someone there, we are also bold to speak because we know he will listen. He should push harder and harder because this is what we have. People think our land and our resources belong to them. But it's high time we teach the young West African. Let's inculcate this West African initiative, should be a special initiative where young West Africans growing up, there should be some identity attachment. That I'm a West African. I know we have the ECOWAS ID card, the ID card. That is beautiful. We should champion and go further. Further by promoting this idea of oneness, this idea of West African identification. Even as we speak. Now, let me come back to Ghana, then go back to... Now, we were talking about the laws of our independence. As an independent country, why are we all here speaking English? If we are really independent, yes, if we are really independent, we are not, Ghana is not an extension of England, or Ghana is not, we say Ghana is home under the Queen of England. So this tells you that we are still far back. Culturally, we are still not independent. Because remember, language is so powerful. It determines the destiny of a people. That is how powerful language is. So when you throw away your language, and language is a vehicle of every culture. Culture cannot exist without language. And culture, it simply means power. So what it means is that we as a people, the cultural power,
what can we do about it? We can't do anything about it because
we can do a lot about it.
So we are looking forward.
We can do a lot about it because let me tell you, we are not the only people who have been colonized.
Right.
Asian countries, China is China today because of their language.
If you're looking at being recognized in foreign lands, if you're looking at fitting in,
I'm coming.
In foreign lands.
I know I'm coming. I know some of us probably have not been conscientized to accept these things easily. We see it as a big hurdle. But what is so shameful, shameful that a people don't have pride in their own language? Are we animals? Even in the animals kingdom.
I don't think that's the problem.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Right now, my brothers want to come in and prove. You see, this is what neocolonialism does.
It's not about that.
It gives you a reason not to be who you are. So what I'm saying, if we are independent as a country, Ghana, how many languages? I'm coming. Let me finish my. How many languages? We have a lot of languages in Ghana. If you take 10 people in Ghana, right? We all know we have a particular language majority can speak. So what you do is that normally, Ghana, our languages are interchangeable. We are interrelated. So you create a language, a hybrid language out of, the majority languages. You see, it is only language that gives you identity. We are talking about resetting the economy. But culturally, when a man has resources, he spends the money where his cultural identity ties him to. Okay. So if we don't,
our time is up.
Yes. So I'm saying that we should. For the beginning, we can start with tree. We can start with tree. Ghana, everybody should tree.
KMG.
Hello.
Because
KMJ told me to end at 9.
KMJ told you?
Yes.
So, hello. Because I have.
KMJ has brought us.
There's something important.
I'm coming. So I would like to President Mahama.
If we will not allow it.
You also thought we were going to end at 9?
No, Julius addressed something about the
that you want to,
minority leader. As a group, Arise Ghana, we have taken a position on that thing, that the minority leader must be reprimanded, must be rebuked,
must be consequences
because the minority leader doesn't seem to know the status, the position he holds. Exactly. He doesn't know. Okay. Exactly. He doesn't know that the importance.
We have to go.
No,
we have to go.
No, something happened in Parliament when the NDC side, the majority side, decided to display the picture of the fugitive Mr. Kenufuriata.
Yes.
The attorney general, the minority leader took exception to that conduct by the majority leader. I want to tell the minority leader,
which is their right of protest.
I am saying to him that the biggest harm that has been done to the MPP, for which reason the MPP is struggling now to win the mandate of Ghanaians, to actually, for Ghanaians to listen to them, it's that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta decided to use his position as the finance minister to make this country dry, for which reason he has escaped the jurisdiction of Ghana.
Okay.
For which reason we are making attempts to bring him.
Let me come.
All right. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time.
For the majority to even yielded.
No,
for the majority to even yield.
Quickly.
To even yield to the minority leader by apologizing to him. I think that we in Arise Ghana, we think that my apology was misplaced. Because Ken Ofori-Atta, we need him back to Ghana. Because if he doesn't come, it will be a bad precedent that will be set in this country. All right, that gentleman must be brought back to this country to answer for the decisions he took, the inimical decisions that he took, the decisions that militated against our economic well-being. So the minority leader, he should be very careful how he goes around some of these things.
Because I can see the rage. It's even showing in your face. So let's calm down.
Yes, allegations of corruption.
You know we have to go to
His Excellency
Dramani Mahama. We have to go to
His Excellency
what my brothers are talking about. What my brothers are talking about.
Listen, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC, at the time they were mounting the political platforms to sell their messages to us, they were not, their campaign message was not scandal driven. They actually formulated policies and programs that wanted the mandate. That the minority leader should take note that there is, if he wants to tout scandal, he must come out with something tangible. Look, you must adduce irrefutable, incontrovertible, incontrovertible evidence to back this day for politics.
Exactly. Today is Ghana's independence.
No, the thing is there
for once.
So,
will you join us to make the campaign?
Selorm.
That to be brought back to Ghana.
Selorm.
Because
please hold on.
Abdulaziz,
please, quickly. I want you to address the way forward for West African Freedom Initiative.
The minority leader is
what you are doing.
Us that should the NDC, should the NPP get the mandate again, they will do same. Because he is supporting somebody who clearly use his office for his selfish gain.
Selorm, you are not listening to me.
I am listening to you.
Please calm down.
Your voice is not
please calm down.
Your voice is not soothing.
Julius,
let's do that another time.
We should do that another time. No problem. All right. So
my brother is overcharged.
Give me his time to wrap.
I should give you his time to wrap up.
Let me end by saying that where my brother is coming from, keep on mentioning Ofori-Atta and the like. This is where I'm talking about the mental reset. Ofori-Atta used to dress in white dress. White clothes up and down, like an angel, with a Bible under his armpit, quoting the Bible here and there. But Ofori-Atta was carrying a new colonial mindset. Look at today. He has run away.
And then
we'll talk about this language.
Is not targeting Ofori-Atta and asking that we
bring him
on the language.
He's accusing his job.
My sister, on the language.
It is Ghana's
a lot of damage to his party.
It is Ghana's 69th independence. Okay, please let's be calming down. Please calm down.
Must get a Ghanaian language for Ghana. Other than that, our independence.
There's a lingua franca that is the English.
Our independence will never be complete until we speak our own language. Remember,
Julius, who elaborate on it because we have to go to. You know what? I want to show you something.
We need to have a language. China. We are not like China the way he says.
Even Chinese.
Just relax. Just relax.
About 400 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ghana's 69th independence.